ready to start digging in your butts when?
What?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mayo Sandwich Podcast. It's me, one of your two hosts tonight, Isaac.
And it's your other host, Chavis. That's right. We killed Maurice. Sorry, but
And
it had to be done.
Gary died in an automobile wreck.
No, they just don't want to be on tonight, so it's just me and Isaac. Nice little chill duo episode here.
I fucking hate you.
That's what I'm saying. We need to get this over with.
Yeah, I want to get this over with so bad. But, small update. Gary is living in the house with me and Chavis now. Pretty cool.
He's
Uh,
right
we've
behind me
rescued
as
him.
we speak.
So he's officially a Kansan. And yeah, just
Yep,
everyone getting life shit together. It's a real good time. Sometimes I fall asleep out there on the fucking couch by him, and we're like watching King of the Hill. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. Been a good
It's a
time. He
fun
enjoyed the
time.
4th of July with us.
Yep.
Well, not as much as we enjoyed the 4th of July, I feel like.
No. Well, he also, because we made some jungle juice, or Maurice did. Pretty good,
Some
too.
pretty good jungle juice.
Really
Yeah.
good.
Better than the last one you guys probably heard about.
Yeah.
Did we talk about
Actually,
the
you know what?
Tennessee
Real
jungle
quick.
juice?
I don't think we ever mentioned anything about that. We mentioned we were gonna get Chris on because he was gonna come with us on that trip, but he didn't. And then once we got to the Airbnb, none of us wanted to record.
Yeah,
So we
because
didn't
I
do
like
the podcast. We said we were.
we were all exhausted because we moved a bunch of stuff. I stepped in dog shit and had to throw away a pair of boots because I didn't want to clean dog shit off in an Airbnb. Um, let's see. I think. Do we want to talk about the Liver King or Stop Killing Games? Stop Killing Games is more relevant because we haven't recorded in a while.
Yeah,
I
the
wish we
last
recorded
recording
earlier
was.
this week so we could talk about the Liver King.
Well, we still can. We're going to.
Well, let's start out with Stop Killing Games because this one's been a doozy. I don't know if you've heard about Stop Killing Games, but it's basically a petition in Europe to create basically a mandate that live service video games have a kind of thing built into them so where you can't just kill the game completely. Like you
Well,
have to
they're
continue
basically
not
making
servicing
it
the
to where
game, but you have to
you
have
have to
like
make
an
it playable.
end state. Yeah, it has to still be playable because you paid money for it. You know, you are still able to play it and access all the things. I think specifically because I understand that you can't really do that with multiplayer games, but there's so many single player live service games. A good
Or live
example,
service games you can play by yourself.
yeah, like take Hitman for instance. By the way, best live service game out there. Shout out to Hitman. Love Hitman.
That one's barely like a live service.
But it's live
I mean,
service in the sense
technically it is.
it's live service because they constantly update it and do stuff for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not like a multiplayer game. It will be soon, though.
So I think there's a little bit more in that legislation they're trying to push, but it did get to 1 million signatures, and a fella you've definitely heard of if you've probably clicked on this
Scrolled on
because
YouTube Shorts.
yeah, his name is Pirate Software, and he has been pretty. I don't know. He kind of.
He's been
I'm not
vocally
gonna say
advocating against it.
he's been very vocally advocating against it. I don't know exactly what his point is, but in my opinion, Stop Killing Games
His
is.
point is stupid, is what it is.
Well, can you summarize it a little bit for the audience
So,
and me? Because I'm
listen,
stupid.
I didn't know because I don't really watch Pirate Software, but from what I heard, he basically said it was a stupid bill because there would always have to be like an end to a live service game. And he's like, well, why would they do that? That would just be wasting money and resources for development for no reason. He's like, this would essentially kill live service games because they would have to leave it in a playable state. So for
Yeah,
games like,
which should be the whole thing. If you pay for a game, you should be able to have something.
What's one of those games that have been like shut down? What's that one shitty Overwatch game that PlayStation put out?
Is
Concord?
it something like that?
Yeah, I think it was Concord. But that game
Also
got
like
like fully shut
Destiny
down.
1 for instance, you know?
Yeah, Destiny 1 and Overwatch 1, but I guess that turned into Overwatch 2 for some reason.
I also get his point to an extent.
I don't. If you make
Well,
a game and people pay money, I think it's reasonable to expect to be able to play that game forever
yeah.
because you bought it.
Well, we also don't technically own any of our digital games, which is so unfortunate.
Well, you don't. It's some of them. I think Steam technically does the same thing, but
Mm.
they'll try to fight like in favor of the players.
Yeah,
Usually,
usually. Like Gabe Newell and all that.
yeah, pretty good
He,
guy.
he yeah, he's a pretty good guy, but you can imagine that unless he has like a successor that he legitimately believes in, if something happens to him, it might not leave Steam in the best place. But luckily, we've been very fortunate to have somebody that actually cares about the industry and, not just the industry, but people
Gaming.
who, yeah, gaming, I guess would
Yeah,
be the better word for it. Summer sale on Steam is so nice. I don't really see that with other platforms. As somebody that has enjoyed having an Xbox before, I have an Xbox right now. I don't really play it. My friends will.
yeah. You don't play it.
I
There's
don't.
no
Yeah,
really. You don't. I don't think you've been on your Xbox in months.
I definitely haven't. I think the last time I was on Xbox was whenever I was playing the Oblivion remaster, and then and I just got back on the PC for that shit. Because initially, for some reason, when I downloaded the Oblivion remaster at first, it just wouldn't boot up. It would like crash immediately, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
whatever.
you had to factory reset your PC.
Yeah, I factory reset my PC, and everything's been running pretty smoothly on it. And I got like a Wi-Fi card, which I should have got so long ago. It's insane, but
But
I
you're
think
gay
it.
is
Yeah,
the moral of this story.
I'm pretty gay, but overall, I think we can agree. Stop killing games. Very good initiative.
Good
And
message.
if it gets passed in Europe, it basically, why
Yeah,
wouldn't they
either
do
they
it
don't sell
for
games
everywhere
in
else?
Europe, or you make your
Which
games match.
what percent of the market is Europe though? I'm gonna Google that real quick.
I
You
mean,
talk about stuff
Americans.
well.
I would assume Americans are probably some of the bigger consumers of games, but China too. I'm sure there's a lot of Europeans who just love
Well, it's
video,
also just countries in the European Union, which no longer
which is a
includes
lot.
Britain. But I think there's also an initiative in Britain for that.
Well, yeah, but usually when Europe signs something in, then affects the rest of the world.
Okay, I hate the AI overview, but it says 53% of the population in Europe plays video games, which is kind of cool to see.
Half of it.
But how big is the gaming market in Europe?
I mean, it's pretty big if they're
It's
doing
pretty big.
regulations.
Because you also have to think, like, obviously China's going to have a pretty big gaming ecosystem because there's just a ton of people there that have access to computers,
Naturally, and internet.
right? Because there's just a ton of people there. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are concentrated in the cities. I don't know. Obviously, Asia's going to be your biggest market. But I don't know all of China's laws. I think there are just some games that they don't allow in the country. Well, I don't think I know that for a fact.
Well, yeah.
I think Australia has some weird
Australia,
gaming
they're kind
laws.
of restrictive.
Yeah, because like Fallout 3, I think the reason drugs in Fallout are called chems is because of Australia.
Well, wasn't it like the
But
only
didn't
reason
they
you
try
can't
to?
kill kids in games is because of Australia?
Yeah, and like most Bethesda games. Also, like, I don't know. Just games are art, and I don't think art should be restricted in a lot of ways. Obviously, listen, I'm not
Isaac
saying
wants you to play No Mercy.
I was gonna bring up No Mercy because that is, well, it's no longer the talk of the town, but like,
It's long gone.
obviously, I don't think games like that should be platformed. That's
I think they have a place. As weird and messed up as that game is, I think it does have a place. Of
That's
course,
gonna be
that
the
place.
title. Chavis loves No Mercy.
No, I
I
mean, even if art's like weird
I
and creepy and objectively like morally bad, it should still exist. Because of course, like I think
you
killing people in
can.
games is pretty bad.
Well, I don't think
You
it's a
ever like
bad
most
thing. It's
games?
part of the game. I think a game where it's about like
Is the
rape is.
non-consensual not part of the game? Is it not part of the game?
I get the point. I don't think No Mercy should be on anything.
It
Like
shouldn't be on
it,
Steam.
it definitely shouldn't be on Steam.
Send it to the
It's
Epic
not
Games Launcher,
illegal to make, but like
technically.
definitely look into people that are buying that game.
Yeah, they're
How long was
probably.
it on Steam? I'm not gonna
I
Google
don't
that.
know. It's probably on
It was
Steam
like
for
a
a few
day,
months. It's
months.
definitely more than a day because it didn't get removed immediately. If I
That's
remember, it
interesting because
took a
like
while.
there is everything on Steam. Like you can
There
find like hentai games and shit. I think they have an adult. I'm on Steam right now. I'm
there
pretty
is
sure
a
there's an
section
adult.
for adult games.
Yeah, there's like. Can you please open?
It's where they got like furry feet puzzle games and shit.
What's the point of that?
I don't
What's the
know.
point of
To a
buying a
puzzle.
porn game?
I really don't know. I guess they want to play the porn, but it's also like just jack off.
Yeah, if you
Get
want
a
something you
VR
can
headset.
interact with, honestly, yeah, that's kind of the move. Is get a VR headset.
You're a
Uh,
super gamer.
Obviously, I don't think the like Meta Store or anything for like the Quest has anything like that. But I think you can just link it to Steam and play like all that
Well,
shit.
yeah, you just link it, hook it up to a PC, and play anything.
Yeah, and just jack off to that bullshit. Uh,
Exactly.
should I talk about RimWorld? I should have put that on my topic list, but I like
No,
RimWorld. I don't think it's something a lot of people love. It's kind
I've
of
seen a lot of
niche.
people like it.
Well, but RimWorld's getting a pretty cool new DLC called Odyssey. It lets you like, fly around on a grav ship, go to other places. They're adding a bunch of animals and new features. Really cool. I like the new update. If we do solo episodes, I think I'll just do one about RimWorld. I think we honestly should do solo episodes so we can
I mean,
kind of
we
fill in
could.
some stuff. Yeah, because
I
I don't
think we
know.
should
Life's been
listen.
a little chaotic for everybody, but we
I'm
should have been
saying,
recording a lot more, which Chavis has been the main pusher. And not gonna lie, I kind of got lazy.
yeah, I know. I had to make the thumbnail the background for the last one.
My bad, man.
I was
But yeah,
asking Isaac to make the background for like a week.
if anyone, yes, if anyone deserves, if we when we start a Patreon, I think Chavis is gonna get a pretty big cut of it. But we're not gonna talk about our financial shit publicly,
First off, we haven't made a dime from this channel,
not yet.
but that's okay.
And
We're doing it for the love of the game, people.
yeah, and then we're
And
gonna make money,
1,000.
and then we're gonna lose ourselves, and we're gonna become psychos. We're gonna start doing drugs and shit.
And we're
We're
gonna
all
start
gonna,
getting involved in Turkey Tom videos.
yeah, we're gonna start beating women. I think the gist of it is we're all gonna turn into David Dobrik. Really,
Yeah.
he's
We're
kind
all
of
gonna
like.
turn into David Dobrik, James Charles,
Do you
Nick
see
Ocado.
his like physical transformation where everyone's like, yeah, he just did a bunch of steroids? But to be fair, holy shit, my bad.
Yeah.
I
All
choked on
right.
water a little bit. Yeah, but
Breathe.
to be fair, what was I about to say? Oh shit.
To be
So
fair.
to actually obtain a physique like that on steroids, you do have to work out. You can't just take steroids. Well, you can take steroids and not work out and get gains. But to get like visible abs and stuff, that does take quite a bit of discipline. Also, from what I know about steroids, uh, which I'm obviously not on right now, I got kind of out of shape over the past few months. But from what I know, a lot of them kind of, they amp you up a lot more, and you just have a lot more energy to be doing stuff like that.
Well, I saw a thing. This could be fake. I saw it on the internet and didn't really look it up, so it's probably fake. But it was
No,
like,
it's all
yeah,
real.
they tested a control group that had no steroids but worked out, and then a group that didn't do any workout and just took steroids. And the people who only took steroids had like more muscle mass in like the time period they set.
Well, there's a lot more to looking like that because you have to be pretty lean to have visible abs. Not like super lean, but I think less than
You gotta be like,
11% body fat.
I thought it was like 20, less than 20, maybe.
20 is pretty typical.
I mean, you can like kind of see abs at like some fat guys.
Dude, I remember whenever I had visible abs and they look great. And now me.
Now you're just a flabby sack of shit.
Yeah, oh my god. I want to be in good shape so bad. I keep saying I'm gonna go to the gym all the time. But then I made a bunch
I
of
mean,
elote today, and now I'm just like,
you go
this
every
is
now and
fucking
then.
good. I do. My job's pretty physical right now, and that's kind of been my excuse. Where I've just been like, oh, I've been at work and I've been doing physical stuff. Or I've been like carrying ladders around and stuff. I'm like, that is exercise, but it's like fucking I
It's
have a treadmill.
technically
I don't like
exercise.
being on a treadmill where when there's a bunch of people in the house, so you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also like, what's the difference
Especially
between this and going to a treadmill with 100 people inside a gym?
I kind of like the gym atmosphere though, because I also if I'm in the gym and I get on like the treadmill, also I did enjoy being on the stairmaster. Holy fuck though, that is a super workout if you're just on there for a long time. You feel that.
Well, yeah, if
But
you walk up a lot of stairs,
if I'm
your
there, I'm
back
gonna
starts hurting.
lift. I've been doing a lot of like weights here with my weights. I've just been like doing curls whenever I have a sec.
I just do that at
Which
my job because we lift heavy ass shit all the time.
yeah,
I really
Chavis
do
actually
not care for
works
my job.
as a professional cane. You know how like Kane threw a big old boulder at Abel's head? That's what he does to like children, yeah.
Yeah, I actually work at the Sisyphus factory.
Sisyphus factory.
I
Yeah,
just
you just
push a boulder up a conveyor belt all day.
dude, you would be so jacked. Yeah, he
But
pushes
my
a
job, listen, basically working is the Sisyphus cycle because you never finish.
especially
There's
not
no
now.
goal.
If you look at recent legislation, there's no end in sight for work.
There's no end in sight for us unless we're doing the Remington retirement plan.
Not to get too libtarded on the
I don't think it
podcast.
matters. Who cares? Who
Well, yeah,
cares?
but as being
Controversy brings the views. Go ahead
the
and say whatever you
two
want.
way more left wing ghosts. Not that Maurice is right wing or anything. He's pretty liberal, but like you know,
I mean, more.
obviously all this legislation is not.
Listen, man.
Not why? Not a big fan of it. Not a huge fan.
Listen, one of the biggest problems I have is while I'm at work. Like, of course, yeah. Usually, I'm unbothered at work. Like, no one really says much to me. I just get in, do what I'm supposed to do. And I ask questions here and there, but for the most part, I'm just left alone. Because I do work across from people, but they like don't talk. So I'm just sitting there all day thinking, and I'm like, why the fuck am I even working? I'm not gonna own a
Yeah.
house. I'm barely gonna own an apartment.
Yeah, you don't own
It's
an
looking
apartment
bleak.
either.
It's looking bleak, people.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, why don't you go out and also vote? Because I guarantee you don't like what's
A
going
little
on
late
right
for
now.
that one. Of course, we can vote like mayors and shit. Like,
I
there's
don't
a
think it's
bigger
too
head
late for
honcho
anything.
that's a bigger problem.
Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of where my head's at. Where I'm just like, this
Yeah.
this might
It's,
go on longer than it really should,
well, the
legally speaking.
plan
Oh my
the
god,
plan is hopefully 3.5 years from now it's over.
I didn't put this on the topic list, but it's a pretty big topic. The P Diddy thing.
Oh yeah, P Diddy's free.
Yeah, P Diddy apparently did nothing wrong, even though he's on camera abusing a woman.
I think
So
tech, I think he only got like some of the charges removed. I think he's still facing charges, but the problem is he kind of avoided the big ones.
Rich people don't go away for that shit anymore.
He
Really is
avoided
the
like
thing.
the trafficking and the like sex crime stuff. Basically, all the big things he avoided.
I know Chris was joking, but he's just like, man, I love whatever. What do you say basically? Do you remember?
I do
I don't
not
want to
remember.
misquote him, but basically he's just like, whenever like you see, because Chris is a black guy, but whenever you see like a black guy get away with something, he's like, that. You know what? That kind of feels good. It's like, well, maybe not this guy,
Yeah, not this one. I don't get
because
it. I don't get it. Like innocent black guys get arrested all the time,
and
and
this
then
one just gets away
motherfuckers
with this.
who are actually heinous get away.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, obviously, racism is still an enormous factor, but classism is just
Huger.
fucking out of control. Yeah, I would say they're both massive issues. I'm not gonna say one's bigger than the other.
They're no, maybe not equal, but they're on the same level
Yeah,
of
they're
like privilege for certain people.
they're both really bad. Not
Because
gonna
I
lie, guys. I think racism and classism are pretty bad. Fucking
think
nail
they're
me to a
pretty
cross,
bad.
huh?
That's such
It,
a unique opinion. I've never heard that.
yeah,
There's people who
me
actually
neither.
believe that though. They're
What?
like, there's no racism or classism. It's all about how hard
And
you
they
work.
live in a fucking shed. Or the ones that are rich. It's
Or
like,
they live in a mansion. They're like,
okay,
my
yeah,
dad worked for all this.
yeah. There's a lot of middle class people still holding on, but you know, you either
Not
go
for
all the way up or
long.
go all
Not
the way
for
down. You know.
long. At this point,
Uh,
yeah, it's kind of either be poor and homeless, which is a lot of people, like, especially now. Even at my job, like, there's, I would say probably half the people there don't have a car. They like carpool there.
yeah.
Which, if you ask me, that's a fuck situation for the American working man to basically have to
Nah,
rely
dude.
on other
It's
people.
freedom. You know how free walking is? You can go anywhere with a
Dude,
car.
if you
You
don't
can't
like it,
go.
just move.
Yeah, just go to a different country with all the money you have.
Yeah, all the money you saved up paying rent,
All the money.
paying rent
It's
and
crazy.
insurance.
Damn, Doomer podcast.
This is the doom. This is the doomer duo.
Yeah.
Listen,
So
man,
P Diddy fucking sucks. Not because he's black, obviously, but because he's a bitch.
because he's a fucking sex offender.
What if we disappear?
Well, they won't even see this episode.
No, they won't. Let's see. Liver King. That's been an interesting one. Do you
Yeah,
know
he
what? Do you know what
yeah.
went on with that?
I know he threatened Joe Rogan and was like, "Come on, Joe, meet me. Just meet me." And then Joe Rogan got like a restraining order on him, and
Yeah,
he's
Liver
still
King got
trying to meet with
arrested,
him.
and he looks so bad now.
He looks bad.
Like he had
He
like
didn't look
in that
great at the beginning.
mugshot, he had like one pupil like really wide and the other like super
He
dilated,
looks
and
like
it's
a
like
homeless
he's
guy.
fucked.
He already
He
kind of
always
looked like
kind
a
of
homeless
looked
guy.
homeless. Yeah,
Now he really looks homeless.
he was just like bright red and jacked. Which I don't know
Disheveled.
how he's been affording the fucking steroids he was on. I don't know if
He's
he's
got
still on though.
he's got that weird, like very rough looking beard.
Yeah, he was
He's definitely on like drugs, like actual drugs.
maybe. I think he might just
He's
be
gotta
like
be.
permanently brain damaged. He probably ate like a raw elk testicle with like a parasite in it. Now it's just
He's got a brain
RFKing
worm
his
of his
shit.
own.
Yeah, he's like, "Ah." He got an illithid in his
Yes,
brain.
I will do. Joe Rogan, please meet me
Oh,
so I
another thing
can
that
give you
happened
brain
with
worm.
that, which I thought was so crazy, was like he made another video after he got released, and there's that restraining order on him, and he was just like, if anybody knows where Joe Rogan and his family are right now, let me and my team know. And he's just like, I'm just kidding. There's a restraining order. I just want to know so I can stay like 200 feet away from him and his family. But let me and my team know. Just
Sounds like a
kidding.
psycho.
He is a lunatic. I really want to like, whenever he dies, which is probably going to be soon, I need to see that autopsy.
100% steroid.
1,000% just
This man
chemical.
was made of pure steroid.
Dude, they can't
We're
even
surprised he
fucking
lived
bury
this
him.
long.
Dude, they try to embalm him and it's like a fucking chemistry experiment.
Just starts
If we had
melting.
this, he might
through.
explode.
We have to cremate him at sea.
I
We can light him on fire.
do you think he was like on the brink of like godhood? And then
He
just
probably
some
thinks
shit
he is
happened.
if he's doing anything.
Well, yeah, if you're trying to battle Joe Rogan because you couldn't get on his podcast, there's probably something.
One too many DMT trips.
I don't. There was like that whole thing about him a long time ago, which he definitely still does. But he turns off all the Wi-Fi at night in his house.
Yeah, that was like his
Uh,
little thing.
and he like sleeps. He doesn't sleep on like a bed with padding. No, no. And our ancestors slept on fucking wooden boards apparently. Which it's
The
like
unomnic.
if you could make wooden boards, you can make a bed out of like animal skins and shit. I'd imagine, but
Well,
apparently he's
first off,
expert on being
I
primal.
don't believe he actually turned his Wi-Fi off. That shit's probably on. That he just did that for cameras.
I don't know if you've seen how his fucking head looks. He might have been like sleeping with
It
his
is.
fucking router in
Listen,
his mouth, dude.
I'm not living in a fucking huge mansion without Wi-Fi. I don't care if I'm the liver king or not.
I think we're at a point where it's like, who knows what shit's bad for you anymore? Because we're making so much new
Well,
shit.
there's
I don't think
also
like
so
5G is
much
gonna give you cancer. I don't think
misinformation
it can.
because there's people who are just like, oh yeah, this is gonna kill you in 3 years. Like
It's
the
like, oh,
seed
cool.
oils, like the people who really hate seed oil.
Which
They're
there
like,
might
it gives you
be.
cancer and gives your estrogen levels.
Yeah, I'm just giving up on that. I'm just gonna be like, I think like spinach is healthy.
Uh, Listen, man, don't listen to any fucking internet. Anytime an internet, like whatever
Don't
the fuck,
listen to
what's
anything ever.
foodology? What's that? A dietitian tells you on the internet. It's like going through like Walmart, man. Like, you guys really eat this crap?
I think what you
Instead,
should
eat
do
my 0-calorie cookies.
if you want to be healthy, go to an actual doctor.
Hey, if you want to be healthy, it's called eat a balanced diet with a little bit of everything
Hey,
and
shut the fuck
moderation.
up. Are you stupid?
It's actually really, really easy to do. You don't have to fast, and you don't have to abstain
Fasting is
from
pretty good though.
seed oil. It can be, but if you do it
I'm
for a long
trying
time,
to intermittent fast again, which it helped me a lot. I don't know. It also kind of clears up my head a bit, except for like at the end of the day, and you see any food, you're just like, oh shit.
you to eat
But
it.
if you do it for a few days, it works pretty good. But if you're regularly doing it for like a few days in a row, that's kind of how you develop an eating disorder.
Yeah, or like anemia, bulimia, whatever
Yeah,
the fuck it is.
uh, anorexia.
I knew a kid in
Bulimia is the
high
one you
school
threw up.
where he disappeared for a little bit, and I knew his brother, and I was like, "Where's your brother at?" He was like, "Oh, he was like super malnutritioned, and he just
Oh
started
my
like
god,
throwing up everywhere."
there was no calories left. He literally disappeared.
I don't even know what you have to do to become genuinely like malnourished.
In America, I don't know.
Oh,
It's
listen,
pretty easy to just not be.
he didn't look unhealthy. He was like a normal size. He wasn't skinny. He wasn't fat.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see people like go through that shit. I couldn't at all imagine how. Well, I can imagine how you'd start. It'd be like, oh, I'm gaining a little weight. Let's start. I don't know, like who would go
But
immediately to
stop
bulimia,
eating
but yeah,
immediately.
I'm looking at the topic list. We have to talk about the fellow we met at the mall.
Oh yeah. So What was it last weekend?
Yeah, it was last weekend. It was
Yeah.
us, Gary, and Maurice.
Yeah, we went to the mall.
We went to Barnes and Noble.
We went to the big Barnes and Noble. It was pretty nice. We had fun. We looked at some books,
Hentai.
and I noticed that there was a kind of older guy, like
I
kind of
noticed him too because
hovering.
he was like twitching a little.
He was like hovering around us. Like every time we went to a new section, he would kind of like he wouldn't directly be on us, but he would be very close.
He would be looking to things that we were conveniently very interested in.
Yeah, and he didn't like interact with us until I think it was when we were like heading out or going
Describe
downstairs.
this fella to them because he was like a
Okay.
shorter, older guy.
So yeah, he was a short guy. I would say probably late 50s,
He
maybe early
looked
60s.
old.
It was pretty listen, if he's 50, he's a rough 50.
Yeah.
And he had like a slight like lisp.
Yeah.
And he he had an anime shirt and like a backpack and a hat on.
The
He was
shirt
like he was kind of
was
in like a how do you do my fellow kids ass like outfit.
yeah. The shirt said like I paused my anime to be here.
Yeah, yeah, it said like I paused some shit to be here and had like an anime girl and it was a pink shirt.
Yeah,
Listen,
he was
kudos to
styling.
this guy because you know if you're confident enough to go out in that fit, honestly, you know I'm gonna give him his applause.
I'm
But
gonna be real. I think he's one of the
problem is
people
when
that
he,
just gets dropped off. I don't think he goes to the mall.
I mean, he could just be like an old guy trying to like find some friends, probably. Who knows? He was there and he he walked up to us, a group of 4 20 something guys, all of like varying looks, and he was like, he like, because we weren't even talking about him. I forgot what we were even like looking at when he came up to us. We were like looking at a book.
I think we were kind of walking away though.
Yeah, we were like walking away, and he kind of like caught up to us. And we said something. He was like, "Oh yeah, look at that thing," and he was like, "Oh yeah, guys," and he like pulled his shirt. He's like, "My shirt. This is like show me. This is like show me." And we're we were all kind of just like looking at each other, and then like we're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Gary said that's
pretty
so
cool."
cool, man. I think I said like something like that's cool, dude. And we started walking away, and I think he was still kind of talking.
Yeah, he was like kind of trailing off, and we were we were like all kind of
Obviously, so uncomfortable.
yeah, we were all like either about to laugh or just be like, "What the fuck was that guy
Dude,
doing?"
I was cackling whatever. Because I think like me and Maurice were the first two to walk away, and I just was behind Maurice, being like, "Eh."
Yeah, I was like holding my lips. I was like, I can't start laughing. He's way too close.
He was that dude was like twitching and shit. He was being wild
Listen,
before
he's
he
a
like
definitely an
talked
old
to
guy.
us.
And you know what? I hope he's happy. But
We did run into him again.
yeah, we ran into him later down the line in a hot topic. He was literally in
Yeah,
front of us, and we were like, "Old guys, 12 o'clock. Don't
yeah.
fucking
So
talk to him."
I think he was like talking to some girls in there, which they looked pretty young, and I was just like, okay. Uh, we were just in Hot Topic, and he showed up, and Gary said something, and me and Maurice looked over, and we were just like, me and Maurice immediately left because we were just like,
Yeah,
you know what, not buying anything. Maurice already bought like the like chain he was gonna buy, and we just immediately dipped. We were just like, nah, we're getting the fuck out. And
yeah,
then
we got out of.
you guys were still in there, you and
Well, yeah, I
Gary.
was like, I didn't want to lose Gary, so I stayed in the store with him. And that guy was at the register. I think he was trying to chat up the cashier.
Yeah, he was trying
But
to
like
he was trying to
obviously
get some
he
goth
works at
pussy,
fucking
I
Hot
guess.
Topic.
Yeah.
He's like a young emo girl, and this like ancient neckbeard guy pulls up.
He was a he just had just an aura that was insane. I remember the active conversation was whenever me and Maurice left. It's like, are they gonna come or did they get like stopped by him? Because we weren't gonna go back in. I think eventually we did,
Yeah, because I like
but
because Gary said he was going to be in there for a while, and I was like, oh, all
yeah,
right.
because he was shopping for like clothes and stuff. it it was a bit of a wild day, and I remember we got out of Spencer's because those are like the key places we hit up because obviously, but we hit up Spencer's, and me and Maurice were the first to leave. And there was just a guy. It was another guy. I don't think you saw him, Chavis. It was just a guy with he had his AirPods in, and he was just singing loudly at the top of his lungs, whatever the
No,
fuck
I
he's
was there.
listening
I
to.
was there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
he
was
was like
singing it super loud.
screaming, and he like
He had
went
soul.
down the escalator, and this is like right
He was
before the
still
mall was
singing.
closing, and he
It was like
kept
an
like
hour before.
singing. And he was being really loud when he got down the escalator, and I yelled "yo" at him like really loud because I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up! You're so loud. I don't think he heard me because I yelled "yo" at him like real loud. And I don't know. I never meet psychos like that at the mall that frequently. I don't
Well,
know.
we encountered two. We
Yeah, we
encountered two good.
encountered two. One spoke to us.
The one
They're just
spoke
creatures
to
out
our
there.
souls. We had fun though.
But
It was a
man,
fun day at the mall. We ate
it was pretty cool.
some chicken at this restaurant.
Oh yeah, we had Popeyes.
No, we didn't have Popeyes. That was at a different time. We had can I say it? It's not really isn't I don't
Oh,
think
Mother
it's
Clucker. Yeah,
yeah, Mother Clucker. I don't
it's
think
pretty
that's
good.
like revealing.
That's whatever.
It was pretty good,
It's
yeah.
good. Oh, there's a few Mother Cluckers around,
I got
but
their chicken fries. It was 20
I
bucks,
got I got their
but
chicken burger. Their fries are a lot. Those are a full meal.
yeah, it was a lot of food. I was so full after we got out.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of food. Oh my god! If you're ever around a Mother Clucker, hit it up.
I go
Everyone says
there.
Mother Cluckers, but it's Mother Clucker. I'm very sure, but Mother Cluckers just
The,
rolls off the
their
tongue.
floors were sticky, so
Their
beware.
floors were fucking stupid sticky. I don't understand. We're walking and it just sounded like the fucking Squidward walk. Like, but I purposely kind of did it when I was walking because I thought it was funny, where I was just making my shoes squeak loud as hell. I
Their
think
tea was pretty good. They had really good tea.
I like going places with like a friend group because I feel like the people I am, like who I am, and the people I'm around, we kind of clear places out a bit. We're not like obnoxious, but you know, I feel
A
like people
group
are
of
just
young
like,
guys
yeah, I feel like
that
that's
all
kind
come
of
to
the
look weird.
thing where it's just like, oh.
We don't disturb people the other way. We're not like those kids who like go in the malls and go 6, 7. Ha.
Dude, I was walking around the I was like walking the fuck, what was it? But it's basically just a store and it's in a pretty wide area of the city, like very white. And there was like a group of these three like middle school age dudes, and one of them just like screams the N-word really loud, and they do that thing where it's like, I didn't, they just did the whole like, oh,
They
whatever,
thought
man.
the
I
most
didn't say
epic prank
anything.
ever.
Yeah, it's like, okay, funny. Haha.
Wow.
Wow,
Say
you're
that
so
when there's
cool.
like a black person
Say
close.
that in a part of where we live that is anywhere but where you are, and you
Say that in St. Louis.
say that, and yeah, go to St. Louis and do that. I fucking dare you.
Gonna get shot.
I think you just get yelled at if you're like them.
Hey, motherfucker.
Well, honest to God, I feel like there'd be like some older black guy that'd just be like, you might think this is funny, but this is not something you should be doing at all. I kind of want to just go up to them. I'd be like,
Well,
I was waiting on an Uber while I was there. So,
been hot recently.
dude, it was so hot when I got in that Uber. She was like, "What were you doing waiting outside?" I was like, "You were so close. I just I didn't have a choice."
Yeah, when I was at the DMV, I was waiting for my Uber. It was cloudy and it was still hot.
I know that DMV lady you got because she had the same attitude with me. She's not like a
Yeah,
mean
she's like
person.
she kind of like shuts you down.
Yeah, she
She like
doesn't like
does
if you
not want
say a
to
joke,
engage.
she will not say shit back to you.
She's like, oh really?
She's Miss DMV. I was making jokes the whole time. Like I remember because I was getting my license shit done, and I like she's just like, okay, take off your glasses for the picture or whatever. And I did, and I did the picture, and I'm like, I feel like that one was kind of ugly. And she's just like, nope, it's fine.
Yeah.
I was like,
Check
can I look
this.
at it? And she's like, yeah, I'm about to print the temp ID for you. And I got the temp ID, and I'm like, this is so bad.
Also,
Eh,
the
It
temp
was too late.
ID when I was in Tennessee was like it was like basically it was like a black and white version of what you'll get as your actual
Was it
permit.
plastic?
No, it was just paper, but it was like basically exactly the same thing.
In
It was
Kansas, you
just
get
printed.
fucking receipt paper.
You literally get a fucking receipt with your face
Which
on it.
I hate if I'm like out somewhere and I have to like buy alcohol or something.
Pull out a
And
big
I like,
receipt of your face.
yeah. I
I
was
had
at the
bought
shooting
alcohol.
range once, and it was in Missouri. Uh, and I fucking showed the guy my like thing, and he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a Kansas temp." He's like, "I fucking hate Kansas," but he let me go in, so I guess it was enough.
Yeah, it was an identification, so all that matters.
Yeah,
Even if it's
he was very
fucking
vocal
ugly.
about hating Kansas. I was like, okay.
Listen, I would hate it too if I had to look at a big receipt,
Yeah.
which
It
I do.
it's a oh my god.
It's rough.
I like it in Kansas. It's a cool state. If you're ever
Yeah,
visiting Kansas, um,
come
go
visit
fuck
us. Here's our
yourself.
address on screen right
Yeah,
now.
come visit us. Let's flash our address 20 times.
Let's
Flash a
put our
fake address
address
on the screen.
right here with the big right red circle.
Bright red circle, arrows pointing to it. This is where I live. Uh,
This is our address. This is where we fucking live. This is
shit
where
kind of got like more interesting as like you and Gary moved up here. Like shit kind of got weird.
how so?
I don't know, just like a bunch of crazy shit happened. Like the septic overflowing.
Yeah.
It overflowed real bad. It like started coming up the shower, and we had to like dig up the septic tank in the backyard.
Yeah.
It was so
This was
bad.
actually fairly recent. Like after I moved here, maybe a month, uh,
Yeah.
our septic tank just because I went to flush the toilet before we went somewhere,
It
and when
just
I
started
did,
backing up.
well, it started backing up and water started coming out of the bottom. I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, that's a
not
problem."
good.
And then when we got back from a nice dinner, uh, then your mom was like, "Oh yeah, we can't use the toilet."
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck."
That was there was a time period before we got the septic pump where we just had to like go like, oh my god, we couldn't really shower for too long or else it'd like flood it more. And the
Yeah,
downstairs fucking bathroom would
couldn't
just
really
flood with like
flush too
shit.
much.
And then we had to like dig up everything, and we had to
Yeah,
find where to dig in the backyard, and it was such a mess.
and even
And
after it
then
was dug up, we still had to wait like another week or two.
yeah, for them to actually get it pumped, and then it was like insane because they were
Working.
saying they would like charge $200 an hour for a dig team, which I dug it up. I understand why you'd want to charge for that, but it's like,
two
dude,
hundred dollars an hour. It's kind of
I
crazy.
would not be doing that. It was ludicrous. But we got it pumped, and today we finally got to the point where we started burying it.
Yeah,
We went
we couldn't shit. I had to shit at work for like 2 weeks straight.
yeah.
It was awful,
I we did like all our showers elsewhere and stuff. It was it was bad. It was really bad. But
especially because I had to shower every day after work.
did we mention my neighbor died whenever you moved up here? Like he died the
I don't think we
day
ever
you
mentioned
got
that.
here. Oh yeah, so I remember because my neighbor had a pretty bad alcohol problem, just to be very transparent about that. I remember in the car driving up here, I said to everyone in the car, I was just like, man, there's so many people that live so much healthier lifestyles and do all the right things. But my neighbor is just like fucking insane and an alcoholic, and he's just in his 70s, almost 80s, just living
Yeah,
life.
you're like
Nothing
you're like
nothing
some
bad
people
happened.
deserve to live longer than him.
Yeah, plenty of people take care of themselves way better. And then the next day, the
Then
motherfucker was
fucking
dead.
Allah fucking struck him down where he stood.
Yeah. I remember the moment because uh, I woke up and I was looking at the group chat of my parents, and my dad was like, "Our neighbor just died." And he's like, and you were on the mic with Maurice and like the
Yeah,
Xbox
Maurice
party,
told me.
and I walked out there and you said, "Oh, Harold's dead." Oh, I said his name. Whatever. Fuck it. Who cares?
He doesn't.
Uh,
What are they gonna define? People
what
named
are they gonna
Harold that
do? Dig
died.
him up? But he fucking died, and I was just like, yeah, I know, because there was like a bunch of police outside his house, and honestly, like weeks leading up to when we picked you up, we
He was like in and out the hospital.
yeah, there was like police always at his house. There's always shit going on, and then yeah,
Basically, he wasn't gonna live much longer.
yeah, nah, he wasn't.
Either way,
And they
I
took his
did kill
dogs
him.
away. Yeah, Chavis did kill him.
Yeah, I did go to his house the same day.
You never even seen the guy, so
I never saw him.
but what? Oh my god,
I
this
got hyped up
episode's
to see his
now
fucking
taking an interesting
nutsack.
turn. But like, he used to come outside all the time wearing like women's thongs and like be sun tanning and shit, just in his like on his back porch, just fucking
In the thong.
hanging out. He would like bend over and like show his ass to the sun, and my mom would be out there doing shit, and she'd be like, she would like go inside and like tell my dad, being like, "This dude's fucking out here naked." Because she thought he was just out naked, but he was just wearing fucking women's thongs. And the guy that lives there now used to live with him, who he attempted to murder, by the way.
Apparently, didn't your mom also say they found like a bunch of women's dresses in his room?
Yeah, I think he was into like cross dressing and stuff, which no
That's my
judgment. But
working
also
theory.
don't go outside in a thong.
Yeah, be a cross dresser. Don't go outside with your thong and show your neighbors your hole.
Yeah, if you want to like if you want to dress up, wear a dress, do all that, that's fine. I don't
You're a
have a
fucking
problem with
first
it.
off, you're a 7-year-old. Be like the guy who told us that he loves his anime shirt.
Yeah,
At
if
that
you're if
point,
you're
you're
gonna
you're
be
nearing the end of your life. Just fucking go all out.
yeah, just be yourself. Which apparently himself is an alcoholic. So
As
as
crippling
you
alcoholic.
as you can see, you can get pretty far in life being that bad of an alcoholic. So bottoms up, just
Was he
kidding,
even
don't
like
drink.
working? Like, what was he getting
No,
paid? How is he paying his
he had
mortgage?
a penchant because he used to be a firefighter. I am putting all his shit out there, but he's dead.
What a fucking good life. He gets to be just a piece of shit. live
Yeah, he
live a comfortable life.
yeah, he was not a great guy. Well, he wasn't like
He wasn't the
he
worst
did
guy ever, but like
he wasn't the
from the
worst.
sounds of it, he tried to murder his roommate.
Yeah. Uh but apparently he left that guy the house, so
Yeah, he left him in the house, so I guess some
sorry
good
I
came
tried
out
to
of it.
fucking shoot you.
Lol, sorry, I tried to murder you. Here's my house.
He did not get in any trouble for that, by the way. He got in no trouble. He went to jail for like
Well,
a weekend.
he was a felon, and apparently he had guns after cops have came to his
Yeah.
house
They
specifically to
confiscated
tell
guns
him
for
not
him,
to
but
get guns.
apparently there were more guns in his house. So he just had guns.
He had to practice the Second Amendment.
Yeah. I
If that doesn't, I I wonder if he bought them or if he just like went to the gun store. He was like, "Hey, you guys
I
know me. You don't got to do a
if
background
he
check
went
or
to the
nothing."
gun store, we really need to start figuring out shit in this country about that. Because like we're pretty pro gun. We're gun owners, but it's
Yeah, we're
like
gun guys.
you gotta you gotta
Some
fucking
people
chill
shouldn't
out.
have one.
Yeah, and I think he is a prime example of obviously this guy should never have anything to do with firearms ever in his life.
Yeah, ever in
But
history.
yeah, he's dead, so I guess the world's a safer place.
The world's a safer place for the guy who owns his house now.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out
That
to
that
that guy.
guy's pretty cool. Yeah.
He got the good end of the deal. The guy who tried to kill him's dead, and he gets a free house.
Yeah. I don't know if I could live in a house with somebody that like died after they
Even
tried to
if he
kill me.
doesn't want it, from what your parents said about how much his house is probably worth the same. So if he wanted to, he could just sell it and live the rest of
Go,
his days out in Costa Rica or some shit.
yeah. Just go to a country where it's like super cheap to live and just hang out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old he is. Is he like around Harold's age or younger?
Oh, he's way younger. Oh, he's like
Like,
in his 40s or maybe even 50s, but he's not old at all. I
yeah,
remember
he's
Harold told
got
me
plenty of
he
time.
like so the dude that lives there now was telling him, oh, he's like, I'm trying to set up a Roku TV. You want to check it out? And Harold was like, no, I don't want any of that newfangled shit. And he's just like, oh, okay, I can just get the old TV again. And then he's like, nah, and he fucking went downstairs and grabbed a hammer and just destroyed the TV. And he told me this like Harold told me this like it was some badass like, oh, look at me. That dude also, oh my god. He was talking to my dad about like whenever a dog gets old and it's like, oh, it's time to put him down. He's like, yeah, I just use a gun. It's a lot simpler that way. And my dad was like, yeah, like a 22 or something, just make it quick and over with. He's like, nah, I use a shotgun. It's like, okay. Wow.
He just fucking Kurt Cobain's every dog.
He convinces the dog to put the shotgun in their mouth. He's like, pull the fucking
He's like, all right,
trigger.
go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
buddy.
He plays Nirvana in the background. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na. I'm wearing a Nirvana shirt right now. I
Name
I
5 songs.
I was bothering Gary so much because I just kept doing that where I was just like, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." He's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was just like, "Ah, ah, ah." I just do it louder.
Just has no idea what it is.
I don't even think he knew that was like a Nirvana song.
Probably not.
Until I told him, I'm like, yeah, that's a Nirvana song. And I kept doing it and he still didn't really grasp. But it was just kind of funny to be irritating. But oh my god, it's been real cool having Gary around. I
Yeah,
fell asleep on the couch when we had like Family Guy playing.
fell asleep in the recliner too.
Oh yeah, I fell asleep in the. That's where I fall asleep. I don't fall asleep on the couch, but I just pass out on the recliner
Yeah, I
sometimes.
went to work and saw you, and I was like, "Damn,
Damn.
lucky bastard."
I did it on the night of the 4th of July because I got pretty drunk and I like laying in my bed. I'm like, the room's spinning. I'm gonna go chill on the recliner for a bit. And I fell asleep and I woke up at like 5 a.m. feeling like shit. And I just went back into my bedroom and passed out on my bed.
Dude, Maurice said he already finished like 2 or 3 bottles of his jungle juice.
Oh my god. Those are like
This
Specta
was
bottles.
yesterday.
They're like 750s.
They're standard amounts, but he drank 3 of them, according to him. It's gonna be out before the
He's
fucking
also the guy
vacation.
that drank like a whole Biggie Buzzball.
Yeah, but he did that over the course of one night. I'm pretty
He
sure
got
a Biggie
so sick that
Buzzball
night. It's been 2 days
probably.
since the 4th of July at time of recording this.
Yeah, it's currently the 6th, and I got work tomorrow.
We gotta let him know that we said all this about him.
No, we never let
The
him
next
know.
episode is gonna be the intervention cast.
The alcoholic. I bought some Fireball, but nobody drank it. I'll probably drink a
Yeah,
little
not
bit
even
tonight.
you. Gary
I'll do some.
yesterday drank like half a bottle of the Bacardi, and he told me he's like, "Yeah, I feel like shit today." And I was
Yeah,
like,
he
"Yeah,
probably didn't drink enough water.
yeah." He's somebody that I feel like he needs to actually learn how to. If you want to drink, you kind of have to learn how. You know what I mean?
Well, his taste buds have to be way different because
He just hates
I didn't
alcohol.
taste the alcohol in Maurice's punch at all, and he said he could taste it. I was like, I don't
Yeah,
even begin to taste it.
it was really good.
It was really, really good. This was like the
I
only
I
drink
enjoyed
I've
it.
ever actually not tasted any alcohol.
Yeah, and there was a lot in it. because I had to. I remember after I got done eating, my stomach hurt so bad because I felt I ate like a little too much, and I went
I had
inside.
too much.
And is it like after I drank and everyone was hanging out outside, and I was like, I'm gonna go in and lay down for a sec, and I did, and I came out and I was fine.
I had a cigar. Well, me and Isaac had cigars,
Yeah,
and we smoked them. And I think probably the last cigar I'll do. I didn't care for it that much, honestly.
those ones weren't that good. They were
I didn't. I mean, the
they
other
were
ones are
nice, but
okay, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it to me.
yeah,
It's fun, but like for like a minute, and then you're just like puffing on a cigar
yeah.
just to try to get it out the way.
I don't hate them, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them.
I've been
Oh my
doing
god,
gummies, a lot of edibles. I'm
yeah.
out of them now,
Gary did a
rather
couple the
unfortunate.
other night, and I just sat out there with him, and he's like, "I kind of don't like how this makes me feel at all. I'm just anxious now." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not for everybody, I don't think. Because
Definitely
some
for
people it
me.
just makes them anxious. Yeah, like you would be somebody that's like that's fine for. I I understand that he's been through a lot of stress, but I'm like, this isn't gonna help you.
Well, you shouldn't really do drugs when you're in a really bad situation anyway, especially if your mind naturally tends to go to like bad situations and like what if this happens? What if this happens?
Yeah, pretty much. That's really the thing. It's like, and if you do like hard drugs and shit that make you not feel anything, you're probably, obviously that's going to be the biggest problem of your life, probably,
Yeah,
or whatever you
probably.
do because of it. Don't do drugs, kids. I don't know if
Don't
you
do
need to
hard
hear
drugs.
this.
Honestly, you shouldn't do any drugs.
Yeah,
But
shouldn't. You shouldn't drink. You
we're
shouldn't do
not your
anything.
dad or mom.
Yeah, you're going to do it. I know you. Look at you.
See,
Look
I
at what's in
said,
front of you.
listen, I've seen what
Look at
drugs
that
can
brick
do.
of cocaine you cut open.
I've definitely decided not to do anything too crazy. Anything that is not a plant and that I can eat. It's my ballpark.
School is banning spoons. I'm just looking at
Oh
a
yeah.
topic list.
Well, I can. That's a really quick one, but it was just there's this game in my school. I think I asked you guys about it. You guys had like a different name. It's called spoons. You take a plastic little spoon, you bend the end of it, and you flick the other person's like spoon part with the end of your spoon, and whoever's
Oh,
breaks
like the
first loses.
pencil game.
Yeah, but with spoons, and you just flick each other's pencil, or not pencil, but spoon, and once whoever's middle breaks out first loses. And then my
They
school just like banned it. They was like, all right, if we
why?
catch y'all playing spoons, suspension. I don't know. I guess because we were wasting the spoons.
I got in trouble
Because
once in middle school for.
they also took our spoons away after that. We only
Oh
had
my
four.
god, they confiscated spoons. But couldn't you
We
just
only
do
have
the same
forks.
thing with a fork?
No, it doesn't break as easily.
Oh,
So it
I don't
was
know.
basically they put a ban to it.
You could just be like, "Hey, yo, stop doing that with spoons."
I think they did, and then they
Yeah,
realized
that's
it
kind
didn't
of the
work.
natural progression. In
They're like,
middle
all right,
school,
whatever, kids.
everyone was taking like the mechanical pencils and like tying a rubber band around it. Basically, you break the shit out of a mechanical pencil, so it's like just like a plunger bit that you pull back and you put whatever you want, like
Yeah,
the
you put like a
front
little
of
piece
it.
of lead and shoot it.
Yeah. Which you could just hurt the fuck out of people if you just like shot a piece of like pencil lead at the back of their head. But yeah, I got in pretty big trouble because they cracked down on it hard in my school. And I got caught with one in the cafeteria because I was just showing off to my friend, and the fucking like I think it was like the vice principal came up and he's like, "Give me that. We're going to the office right now." And I was like, "Oh." I also got in trouble because one of my favorite teachers caught me. His name was Mr. Brian, but he wasn't the person that got me in trouble. I would like take up like whatever ketchup packets I didn't use at lunch, and I'd like twist them up and I'd like pop them and shit like on the tray because I thought it was funny. It was like, oh look, it's like a fucking blood explosion, and he just looked at me once and he's like, why?
What the
And I was
fuck
just
are you
like,
doing?
I don't know, I'm a middle schooler. The fuck you asking me why for? But he saw that and he's like, why? And there's another teacher. This dude was a fucking dickhead. He's just like, no, you can't do that anymore. We're gonna go talk about it. I think they called my parents for that. I don't know. I'd have to ask my parents if they remember a phone call. Because
The
if I
shittiest thing I
remember
got my parents
correctly,
called.
it was such a non-deal that after a while, because it's just like, oh, like I remember like the superintendent at my school saw me in the office and she was like, oh, why are you here? And I'm just like, I twitched up a ketchup packet and popped out my tray, and she's just like, did you like aim it at anybody? And I was like, no. And she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the dude that brought you here because that's stupid.
Yeah, I used to hate getting in trouble for like bullshit because I didn't get in trouble a lot, and when I did, it was literally bullshit every time.
That was a lot of my high school experience.
Like one time in, I think it was elementary school. Yeah, it was. I was just playing rock paper scissors with like a guy next to me, and I got in trouble. They're like, because we were in gym class, and I guess the whole class was in trouble, so we had to just like sit there. And I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna fucking play with this guy next to me. And then we both got like picked out to go to the room. And he was like, all right, we're gonna call y'all's parents. And then he told my mom, like, yeah, he's playing rock, paper, scissors. And then my mom was like, she was like, oh, so you're playing with rocks, papers, and scissors now, huh? I was like, no. I was like, we were just playing the game. She was like, well, when you get home, I'm whooping your ass. It's
So
like, what the
dumb.
fuck am I in trouble for?
Oh my god, there's some parents that were just like, whatever deal the school made out of it, they would just keep that same exact energy because it's like, I'm a good parent because I'm disciplining my child. It's like, most of the time, the schools
Are
aren't
just
on the
being
ball at
bastard.
all. Yeah, they're just being dickheads because they want to control you. Yeah, look at me, I'm edgy. The school wants to control you, dude. Fuck off. I got Not gonna lie, I got pretty rebellious in high school, so I kind
I
of
never
felt
got
like that
really
a lot.
rebellious, but like I said, every time I got in trouble, it was absolute bullshit.
Oh my god, one of the dumbest things I ever got called to the office for. Well, there's two big ones, but one of them was I was in my weight training class because if you played football, you had to go do weight training, and
Mhm.
it was like after class, one of my friends, I'm just gonna say his name because what are you gonna do? Find him? Izion had his beats stolen, and they were just pulling people randomly, or just like
I
people
think
they saw
Maurice
in the
told this
security.
story, or maybe you
No,
did.
that's a completely different time somebody's beats got. Don't bring beats to the fucking high school I went to. It's insane. There are metal detectors in my school, and you have to wear clear backpacks. Don't fucking go there. Not my school. I don't go there anymore. I graduated 4 fucking years ago. But
Actually, still going.
yeah, I just go there to hang out sometimes. But dude, yeah, he got his beat stolen, and the fucking resource officer came and grabbed me from the gym upstairs, and he was just like, "Hey, come down with me, and we're gonna open your locker." And I was like, "Okay," because I know I didn't have shit in it. Like I don't have
Yeah.
any like drugs or anything. Okay, and I opened my locker, and he grabbed my backpack, and he just started walking with it, and I was just like, "So, what's this about?" And he's like, "You'll find out." And I was like, "Okay." And I walked with him to the office, and I wasn't nervous at all because I'm like, there's
Yeah, we
nothing
don't
that
know
I
what you did.
have.
So, like,
Yeah, there's nothing I did wrong, and if I'm in trouble for something, it's nothing I did, you know?
yeah.
But, he took it up, and they just immediately started going through all my shit. It's like I don't know, whatever, like, person for my grade was there because I was a junior, I think. Yeah, I was a junior. And he just started going through my backpack and dumping shit out. And I had all these extra phones that they were like my old phones, and I was just trying to like get rid of them. Like, I wouldn't sell them on school property, but I'd like sell them after. He's like, "So what are all these phones? Where'd you get them?" And I was like, "They're mine." He's like, "How do I know you didn't steal them?" And I'm like, "I
Find
guess you
out.
don't, but I didn't fucking steal them." And
Yeah.
basically, he got hung up on that, and I think he called my parents about that, and they're just like, "Yeah, those are his phones." Uh, yeah, pretty much. There was not really anything. And they were like, "So did you steal the headphones?" And I was like, "I don't know what headphones you're talking about, but no, I didn't steal anything." He was like, "Okay. If you did steal them, did you put them anywhere?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't steal them, so I
If you
didn't put
did
them
steal 'em.
anywhere." If you did steal,
If you
and I
did
was
steal 'em, you're
like,
not admitting to it yet.
"So can I go back to class because I still have to dress back out now that because like the bell rang and I'm like, and I have to go change into my fucking regular clothes because I dressed out." And he's just like, "Okay, sure." And I'm like, "Can I get a hall pass?" And he's like, "No." And then I went back and I told the coach, I'm like, "Hey, he didn't give me a hall pass. Can you give me a hall pass?" Because he was my football coach. So he's like, "Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, here's a hall pass." Because I didn't do anything. I don't know why I was being treated like a fucking criminal. And
Yeah, it's so stupid.
that one was dumb. I also had that year I had English my first hour. And this
Yeah.
was dumb. It was before the bell rang and I had my earbuds in and the bell rang and I was doing stuff and then halfway through the class I was like, "Oh, I still have my earbuds in." I put them away everything and I just continue class and the next hour I get called into the like office and I was just like, "Oh, I wonder what this is about." And they're like, "Give us your earbuds." And I was like, "Uh why?" And he's like, "Oh, this morning your English teacher said he asked you to take out your earbuds and you didn't." I'm like, "I never had that conversation with him." It's like, "Okay, so you're lying." And I was
He
like,
just wanted to
"You can
be a
just have my
dick.
earbuds." Yeah, he never fucking talked to me about it. And I was like, "Okay, here's my earbuds." And they were just like cheap, shitty ones because my dad used to buy like big packs of them, like just
Yeah.
the plug in earbuds. And I just, and they're like, "At the end of the day, you gotta come back and get these." And I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna." I didn't say that, but I just left. And like the next day, they're like, "Hey, you need to come get your earbuds." And I'm like,
Nah, you can
"You
have 'em.
guys seem like you wanted them more than I do. I'm not gonna spend time going after class. I might miss my bus. So just throw them away." And they're like, "No, you have to come get them." And I was like,
Or what?
"Okay." Well, also, I was like, my last class I remember vividly. I had to walk all the way across the school to get to my bus in time. Like, and I had to go fast. And I was just like, if I stop, I'm gonna miss the bus. And it got to the point where eventually they like called me out and they're like, "Here's your earbuds." And I was like, "Thank you," because I can't make the bus if I go get them. But also, to
Yeah,
be
when
fair, I was
I got
probably being a little bit of a rebellious dickhead in that situation.
in my middle school, they were really like annoying for some reason. Cause like at some point they literally like they're like, all right, no phones anywhere, not in class, not in lunch, nowhere. So if you got caught with your phone out by any figure of authority, they would just take it,
Yeah, our
and
school
then
banned phones too.
they'd be like, all right, well your mom or dad has to come pick it up. And at this point, my mom didn't even buy my phone. This was one of the phones I had that my brother stole and just gave to me. So like
Nice guy.
technically, it wasn't really my phone or my mom's because like she didn't pay for it. But I was just like playing a game in lunch, and then like the principal comes behind me and just like he's like, "All right, give me that." I'm like, "It's lunch though." He was like, no, no phones." So I had to like wait a couple days until my mom was like, "Hey, they took my phone," and I like want my phone. So we had to go back in there and get it. And then eventually they're like, all right, guys, y'all can use phones in lunch, I guess.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Because they
Our high
probably
school
realized that
banned
kids are just
phones
going to
on the premise
use their
entirely.
phones in class instead of at lunch.
Yeah, at that point, because like lunch, you're just gonna get caught doing shit because that's like a big ass open room.
Yeah, and then if you go to a class and you get a chill teacher or one that doesn't care, they're not gonna take your shit from you.
Yeah, my high school, I think it was like my junior year, is right before COVID. They just banned phones entirely from the school because they're like, people are fighting and causing drama, and I'm like, people are just gonna do that. It's
They're
high
gonna
school.
bring
That
their phones
it's
anyway.
Yeah, people are gonna bring their phones anyway, and then that's a whole lot more bullshit and phone calls you have to make to parents. But yeah, they banned them, and I remember during oh my god, I was graduating through a program during COVID, so my
Mhm.
grades didn't matter at all. Like, all I had to do is show up to class, and the only thing that mattered was my attendance because I was testing out. And oh my god, so many teachers got so irritated with me because I'd just show up to class, and I would just be like on my phone playing Among Us, and they're like, "Hey, stop that!" And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't have to do any of this work because I'm testing out, and I'm not going to." So
Yeah.
one teacher, really cool lady, she took me aside and she's like, "Oh, so what's going on? Why aren't you doing any work in class?" I'm like, "I just don't have to." And she's like, "Okay, I get it. Just let me know how this whole thing goes, and keep me posted." And I did. She was really cool. But there were a few teachers that were just dickheads about it. Dude, I hated COVID so much. Like the schooling during COVID was terrible.
Well, I just did like computer shit and I showed up for every class except for math and I had a good enough teacher for like my elective that she basically cheated for all my credit recovery. I'm not going to say her name, but shout out to you, teacher. You were the only reason I passed.
Yeah.
Cuz
You want
also
to end it here
we
in
had
a
a we
sec,
had an
or
art
do I keep going?
class. Well,
Oh,
I
you go
just
ahead.
cap off this story, but we I had an art class and like I like art class sometimes, but I didn't really like it because the teachers were never like fun. It was always like, all right, guys, we're gonna do a realism, a 3 point perspective painting. It's like, all right, that's boring as fuck, whatever. And I would just like, I basically failed art despite drawing
Yeah.
for whole high school. So basically, I told my teacher, I was like, "Oh, I don't have the materials," and she literally drove to my house and dropped off art materials. I was like, "You fucking bastard!"
You know what you did.
I
Trying to
still
get rid
didn't
of
do
all
it.
my excuses.
I didn't do it. Instead, what I did is I took some of my other drawings and like just used the background and just like submitted it. And I was like, "Hey, look, I did it." I was like, "I did your stupid project. Get away from me."
I remember doing like pottery in my house with the clay they gave us. And I
Oh, they
just
didn't
make
give us that
whatever
shit.
bullshit. Because that was
She
the
just
one
gave me
class I
like a
actually did
sketchbook of
during
markers
COVID.
and crayons,
I
pencils
was
and
just
shit.
like, this is fun, but I really don't have to keep up with it if I'm just like not feeling it that day. I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And plus, oh my god, it was a funny time because there was one dude who him and I didn't get along for very specific reasons I don't want to talk about. But he was in that art class and he would kind of like, I don't know, he kind of do bullshit to like try to piss me off. I was like, this is online. I am not gonna engage with you at all.
Online school was just so bad because, like, our school said your camera and your mic had to be on at all times, but I don't think I ever saw a single person with their camera on, like, ever through the whole year.
They were pretty good about enforcing the camera on stuff. But oh my god, there's this guy who is special needs in one of my classes.
Oh, no.
And he he had his like camera on and his like mic on and everything. And there was just somebody outside just like doing like heavy yard work and it was super loud. It just kept going to his like face on the screen because whoever's like loudest gets the fucking screen. So it's just like a close-up picture of this like mentally disabled dude's face and this loud just
Lawnmower.
sound. I
Just
think it was so loud because it wasn't like a lawnmower. I think somebody's like using a chainsaw outside or some shit, and it was so fucking loud. And they were trying to talk to him, but he couldn't hear anything. And also, he's like
He's just
mentally
fucking deaf,
handicapped.
standing there.
He's just sitting there looking like into the camera. And I think finally somebody got him, and he was just like, "Huh?"
Dude, did you
That
see
was
that one
kind of
video?
it took like 20 minutes of class time. I think he got kicked because they couldn't figure out how to do anything.
Dude, there was this one video of like probably like a elementary school kid on like one of those Zoom class calls. And like he's like, I guess probably in his parents' room or something. And she's like telling, because obviously it's like elementary school kids, they're like just fucking off, doing whatever.
Yeah.
And then this one kid, like his mom or somebody comes back there like naked out of like a shower. And
Oh,
the lady, she's like, "Who's that back there naked?" She's like, "Turn your camera off. Turn your camera off. There's somebody back there naked." And the person like runs off the camera really quick.
That's gotta be so
That
fucking
clip is fucking
embarrassing.
hilarious.
Also, what are you doing hanging around naked around your kids?
I don't fucking know. They clearly had to have known their kid was like doing a class.
Yeah, but they probably didn't understand that they were gonna have their like ass televised.
To a bunch of children.
Yeah. Is that a sex offender now?
Yeah, I think technically, yeah.
No, you only get busted if you piss in a public park or some shit.
That's how they got me. I'm kidding.
That's what they all say, right?
But I think this has been the Mayo Sandwich podcast today.
I think it's actually been PKA.
Yeah. It's been the Painkiller Again podcast.
No, I think it's actually been Forehead Fables.
It's been Poob and Sam here.
It's been the Joe Rogan Experience, maybe.
And Joe Rogan and Jamie here.
What's another podcast? Dumbass Central. I think it's been
Yeah,
that.
it's been Dumbass Central here. Mostly Isaac. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Go ahead and leave a fart in the comments if you want to see some more. We'll smell them.
Leave a big brap.
Leave a big brap in the comment section.
Our monitors are actually scratch and sniff, so we got it.
Yeah, we can smell them.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right, bye.